Hi guys, welcome to Thursday's math. Today we're going to work on coordinate grids, which we worked on before we left for our extended break. I'm going to show you just a little review and then you're going to answer some questions about a coordinate grid. The first thing that I want you to notice right here is this is the point of origin. This is where the grid begins. And this is the y-axis. I'm going to label that for you. This is the y-axis. Sorry, my writing is not pretty with my finger. This is the y-axis. Always remember y to the sky. And then this is the x-axis. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. And then I will just put a blue line here. So we have, this is the y to the sky, and this is the x-axis. So you can assume that at every grid point, this would be a 1, that's a 2, 3, 4, and if it sits here, it's a 0 on either one. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say that I'm going to plot a point at 3, 4. Okay, so always the x comes first because x comes first. It's the first, it comes first before y in the alphabet. So we're going to go x axis, y axis. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is our first point. We're going to call this point A. All right. Our next point, I'm going to place it right here. Take a second and everybody think about what the coordinates for that would be. You got it? That's right. The coordinates for this one would be 5 over 5 and up 2. And we'll call that point B. So that's what we're going to do for this. Sometimes they'll ask you real world questions where they'll have like kind of like a map laid out and they'll have little objects. So let's say we had a little house there and we have an L for library here. We have an S for school here. It might ask you, how far does Lisa have to travel and in what direction to get to school from home? So she would have to go 1 block south. Remember, south, north, east, and west. She'd have to travel 1 block south and 2 blocks east. So that's how you would write it. 1 block south and 2 blocks east. Okay, to get home from the library, she'd have to travel 2 blocks north and 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks to the west to get home from the library to the school. I'm sorry, from library to home. Let me erase this. Oh, boo. Okay. The other thing it might ask you to do is it may give you some coordinates and say, Liz plotted, she was drawing a rectangle and she drew points at 2, 4. So that'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a point. And then she drew points at 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she drew points at 2, 2. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2. And she drew another. Where would her third point be? What would be the next one? Well, if she's going to draw a rectangle with it, it's got to be right here. That would be her rectangle. Okay. Actually, this ends up being a square because this is 2 blocks, 2, 2, and 2. So that ends up being a square. If she would wanted to do a rectangle, she would have had to make it flatter and further out. But squares are also rectangles, so it's okay. So that should be enough to get you started, and you're going to answer the questions attached. Thank you.